Hello everyone and welcome back to Bhanzu classes. So I hope all of you are doing wonderful, right? So if you remember, we are doing the topic fractions, and in our previous sessions we had talked about addition of fractions, subtraction of fractions and multiplication of fractions, right? So today we are going to pick up the last operation on fractions, that is division of fractions. But before that, quickly let's see what all did we cover in multiplication of fractions. We talked about multiplication of a fraction by a whole number and multiplication of a fraction by a fraction, right? I hope all of you have done practice questions on it, because this concept is actually related to our today's concept as well, right? So what are we going to cover today? We are going to cover division of fractions, then we'll be talking, in that we are going to talk about division of a whole number by a fraction, division of a fraction by a whole number and division of a fraction by another fraction. But before we specifically talk about division of fraction, we have a very important term to be understood, that is reciprocal, right? What is reciprocal of a fraction? Reciprocal of a fraction is the non-zero numbers whose product with each other is 1 are called the reciprocals, right? When, suppose if we have a fraction numerator upon denominator, and on reciprocating it, we get denominator upon numerator. That is, if you are going to take a product of this and its reciprocal, you will always get the number 1, right? So reciprocal is what? Interchanging the place of numerator and denominator, right? So let's see an example. So what's the reciprocal of 5 by 7? It is 7 by 5. If I ask you what's the reciprocal of 3 by 7, what will you say? You will say, ma'am, it's 7 by 3. What's the reciprocal of 9 upon 11? It would be 11 upon 9, right? So reciprocal is interchanging numerator to denominator and denominator to numerator, right? So this is a very important term in division of fractions. So now let's talk about division of a whole number by a fraction. So to divide a whole number by any fraction, we always multiply the whole number by the reciprocal of that fraction, right? Always we need to do the reciprocal of the second number. So over here, the second number is the fraction. So let's see an example over here. 3 divided by 4 upon 3. So what will be the reciprocal of 4 by 3? Yes, it would be 3 by 4, right? So 4 by 3's reciprocal would be 3 by 4, and as I told you, whenever we do the reciprocal of the second number, the division sign comes as multiplication. So now we multiply the whole number by the numerator, we discussed in the previous session, upon the denominator. So it's 3 into 3, which is 9 upon 4, right? So let's move ahead and see how do we divide a whole number by a mixed fraction. So everybody knows how to convert a mixed fraction in an improper fraction, right? So whole number if divided by a mixed fraction actually tells you to convert whole mixed fraction to improper fraction, and once you get the improper fraction, you should do the reciprocal of improper fraction so that we can multiply it with the whole number, right? So let's see an example over here. We have 3 divided by 3 1 by 4. So what's our step number 1? Convert this mixed fraction into whole number into improper fraction, right? Then division becomes multiplication and the improper fractions reciprocal has to be found out. Now multiply the whole number by the numerator, so you get 3 into 4 is 12 and the denominator to be copied as it is. So this is how we do division of a whole number by a mixed fraction. Now it's time for us to practice, right? Ready everybody? So you have learnt with me how to divide a whole number by a fraction or whole number by a mixed fraction, right? Quickly, you have 1 minute, pause the video and try it out. Great. I hope everybody was able to do it. So let's discuss this problem. So over here, first we are going to copy the whole number. Then we know division becomes multiplication and reciprocal of the fraction would be 5 by 2. So the answer to it is 35 upon 2. Right? And the next one, 5 divided by 25 by 4, right? We have converted the mixed fraction into improper fraction. That was our first step. Now the second step would be division becomes multiplication and the reciprocal of this. So we get 20 by 25, and as we can see they have a common factor. So let's divide it by the common factor 5. So our simplest form over here would be 4 by 5. The answer would be 4 upon 5. Right? Clear everybody? Now let's move to the second sub-concept for the day, that is division of a fraction by a whole number. So over here what happens? Fraction divided by a whole number. So what is a fraction? It's numerator upon denominator, then divided by a whole number. But we have learned that the second number has to be done reciprocal. So what will be the reciprocal of a whole number? Quickly. Yes, ma'am, 1 upon whole number. So numerator upon denominator into 1 upon whole number. Let's take a practice question over here. Suppose if you have 2 upon 3 as a fraction, right? Divided by 3. Got it? Now what do we do? Ma'am, fraction to be multiplied by the reciprocal of whole number. So what do we get? Numerator multiplied by numerator upon denominator multiplied by denominator. So here you get the answer, 2 upon 9. Clear? So can you all see that reciprocal plays a very important role in division of fractions. So now let's move ahead and do 2 practice questions. 8 upon 7 divided by 5 and 512 divided by 3. So what happens over here? We can see it's 8 upon 7, division becomes multiplication, it will be 1 upon 5. Reciprocal of 5 is 1 upon 5. So over here it's 8 by 35. Right? Let's see the next one. First we need to convert the mixed fraction to improper fraction, right? So it's 11 by 2 divided by 3 is our question. So if you solve that, division will become multiplication and whole number will be reciprocal, right? So 11 upon 6, right? And since you can see the question is in mixed fraction, you can convert your answer also in mixed fraction by dividing. So you would get 15 by 6, right? Remember, how do we convert improper fraction in mixed fraction? So whichever form your question is in, you should convert your answer also in the same form. Let's do the last subtopic for the day, that is division of a fraction by another fraction. So over here what will happen? Fraction is numerator upon denominator, but when you do the reciprocal of the second fraction, the division becomes multiplication. So actually it's numerator upon denominator of the first fraction into denominator upon numerator of the second fraction, right? Let's see with the help of practice questions over here. So over here you can see in the first one we have 3 upon 5 divided by 1 by 2. So division becomes multiplication, 2 upon 1 will be the reciprocal of 1 by 2, right? So 3 2s are 6, 6 upon 5. So you can also convert it in mixed fraction or you can leave it till here. We can do both of the things, but over here our question is in fraction, so you can leave here, or if you want to do it in mixed fraction, it would be 1 by 5, right? Let's see the next one. It's 5 upon 2. Division becomes multiplication, 5 upon 4, right? So what have we done? We have first converted the mixed fraction into improper fraction. So now we get 25 by 8. Here the question is in mixed fraction, so you should convert it in mixed fraction. So what will you get? 3 1 by 8, right? So this is how we do division of a fraction by a fraction or mixed fraction by fraction. Clear everybody? I hope all of you are able to do it. Yes? Keep practicing like this. So now let's summarize what all we had covered in the session today. In division of fractions, we have talked about 3 subtopics, that is division of a whole number by a fraction, right? Whole number by a fraction, fraction by a whole number and fraction by another fraction. And when we say fraction, we also cater to mixed fractions. And obviously the most important concept what we covered was what's a reciprocal of a fraction, because without that you won't be able to do division of fractions, right? So till we meet next in the next session, do not forget to practice the questions based on division of fractions. Keep exploring, keep practicing and spark your curiosity. Bye-bye.